Hey guys, what's up? So this is Bama J Bird Resale. I'm Josh. Great to have you with me again. And really quickly, I'm going to go through a few more stacks of some of these records from my big record buy. Just to preface this, for those of you out there that have more experience than I do, I'm doing my best with the comps. I know some of them may be off a little bit. I'm using eBay comps, which is where I sell. That's why I'm using that, though I am referencing Discogs for some of it to help me understand better. I'm still learning about grading. I'm fully aware that some of these covers are not in the greatest of shape, but some of them are pretty good. What I have found is the majority of the actual records are in really good condition. Now, I've learned a lot already from comments and help from others that have more time spent with records than I do. I do have a quick question I'd like for you to hit me up in the comments about. What I want to know is, would it be worth the investment to buy one of the cleaning machines for the records? What do they call the ultrasonic cleaning machines? I think you can get one on Amazon, a lower end model for less than $100. The higher end ones are really expensive. But should I just wipe them down, buy the kits where you do it manually, or would it be worth that investment, considering that I have 800 albums I got to process? So let me know in the comments what you think. Let's jump right on into taking a look at these records. And there's not as many huge ones in this group. There's 3 groups here. I tried to divide them initially by genre. Last time I went through a lot of the rock and roll. This is like 50s, 60s, like the doo-wop, a lot of the groups and stuff like that. And some of it maybe crosses over back and forth between what I did before, but I just tried to divide it up a little bit. I've still got to do the Motown R&B, I've got to do the jazz blues, and I've got to do the country and folk. So I've got 3 more sets, 3 more videos that I have planned to do, showing you this collection and going through kind of getting them comped out a little bit, the first analysis of them as I do. So let's take a look. All right, so this first album is Leslie Gore, I'll Cry If I Want To. Comes out around $15. The cover, you can see, has some damage, has some issues, but I think, even worst case scenario, $5 to $10. A lot of these like this, I'm going to end up just lotting together and dropping the price to move them. I know they're not for high-end collectors. Again, let me remind you of that. These are more for people that want to listen to them. They're in pretty good shape, especially considering the age. Again, a lot of these are 1950s and 60s albums. Here's the box top, super hits, about $10 on that one. Really cool album. The Innocence, $20 to $30. This is an original first pressing. It's Indigo label, so it's a pretty cool album. It does have a little bit of writing up here on the cover, but the cover on this one's in pretty decent shape. Again, $20 to $30 maybe on that. Low end, maybe 15. This one, I'm a little unsure on comps, but the cover on this one's in really great shape. This Gene Vincent, the blue caps, I'm comping this. It's the turquoise label at around $60. The disc itself is in fantastic condition. So I'm thinking that this will do pretty well for me. It is somewhat of a rare album. So anyway, that one, again, looking at maybe $60. I may end up having to take an offer less than that, but they have sold for more than that as well. On eBay again. Remember, eBay is my platform. Maybe some people that buy on eBay aren't aware of what they can buy on other platforms, but that's where I sell. So this one is Meet the Searchers, or The Searchers is the band. So $8 to $10, Needles and Pins, of course, one of their famous songs. This one's not terrible, but there is discoloration. A lot of these have discoloration, ring wear, things that I'm learning about as I'm going. This is a great album here. It's The Animals, the first press, excellent condition, $30 to $40. But you see the ring wear and the discoloration on this one as well. Nevertheless, and there's Eric Burden. I was hit by some commenters last time when I was going through these that I have no music knowledge, at all, that I'm just nothing when it comes to music. And I'm thinking, wow, I've been a music lover my whole life. I mean, music is such a wide area that I don't know that anyone is an expert across all genres and time periods. I by no means am. I have my niches where I know a lot more, but I love The Animals. House of the Rising Sun, of course, one of the all-time great songs from that era. This is going to be a set of 3. This is Eric Burden and The Animals here. So there's 3 of these, Every One of Us, The Best Of, and then Animalization. So I'm putting the 3 of these together in a lot for around $40. I might have to take like 25 or 30, but that's okay. But I've got somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 an album, and I know that's overpaying on a lot of the albums, but there's so many good ones. I'm going to do well on this. In spite of what some of the comments were, I think I'm going to do really well on this collection. I'm finding some jewels in it every time I go to it. This is a lot of 4 of the Turtles, Happy Together. I'm going to sell the 4 of these for $40. These are on the White Whale label. The Golden Hits, It Ain't Me, Babe, and then the Battle of the Bands. So all these pretty cool albums, some worth more than others, but I'm just going to try to lot them together and get about 40 bucks for them. Then I have 5 Chubby Checker albums. I'm going to put the 5 of these together, and I hope to get between $25 and $30 as a set. So hopefully there's a Chubby Checker fan out there. The covers on these actually are pretty good. This one's in really nice shape for the age. Same way with this one. So we had for Twisters only, Your Twist Party with the King of Twist Chubby Checker. We have the Beach Party. This one's in fabulous shape here, super bright. Let's limbo some more with Chubby Checker. And then the last one, All the Hits Chubby Checker. So all 5 of these again, about 25 to 30 bucks. All right, this next set, a lot of 4, $35. This includes 2 albums of the Rip Chords. This is similar to Beach Boys. This is that type of music. Here we have Hey Little Cobra and other Hot Rod hits by the Rip Chords. And then paired with these, I'm including Hot Rod Rally, which includes songs by various artists, the Superstocks and by Shutdown Douglas. And then also this one, the Honda GTO, the Scramblers, and the 4 of them as a lot for about $35. None of these are super valuable individually, but I think as a lot I can get maybe 35. If I get 25, I'll take 25 as an offer on that one. Now this is a really good album. This is the Yardbirds, having a rave with the Yardbirds. So 40 to 50 on this. Again, not an expert on this. I'm still working on my grading, but I would say that the album cover is good plus to very good. The album itself is really, really nice. So I'm going very good plus, maybe a very good plus on it. And again, 40 to 50 bucks. If I got 30 offered on that, I would take it. And then this is also really good. Also, I didn't mention, but you know, Jeff Beck with the Yardbirds. The Yardbirds, I sold a bunch of CDs from the Yardbirds and the various bands that their members were a part of. There's a box set that has like the Yardbirds, kind of like their family tree, the band tree. So cool because so many of their guitarists and their singers over the years formed and participated in other well-known bands. Just great guitarists like Page and Clapton, Beck, different ones. But anyway, and this one, 35 to 40 bucks, excellent condition for the album. The cover, again, it's got some wear, it's got a little creasing at the top. It's not perfect, but hopefully 35 to $40. This is the first press of this Yardbirds For Your Love. Next up, I have a set of 3 of the Kingsmen. This is Kingsman in Person, stereo version. This is Kingsman Volume 2. Okay, and then Kingsman on Campus. So these 3, I'm going to try to get about 15 bucks, 10 to 15, just to get them moved, get them sold. On this, Jan and Dean, 4 albums here, 25 to 30 bucks. These vary in value, but none of them are really valuable. Dead Man's Curve, New School Girl, this one, Drag City. Then we have Golden Hits. And we have The Heart and Soul of Jan and Dean. And so the 4 of them, again, 25 to 30 bucks. And then here we have Beach Boys. This one is a really good album, Surfing Safari, the Beach Boys Capital 1962. I'm saying 20 to 25 bucks on this one. It's in pretty good shape. Cover looks pretty nice for the age anyway. I mean, it's got issues, don't get me wrong. It's got some creasing, a little bit of discoloration, but it's in overall pretty good shape. It's still together. There's the back. And does have the writing on it, so that's the one knock on the cover. But the album itself's in good shape. 20 to 25 bucks. That can be worth a good bit more in better condition. This one, the Beach Boys Today, Do a Fun Stereo, $15 to $20 on that. And then these 3, I'm going to lot together. This is Endless Summer, and I'm trying to think this one was. Yeah, this is a British copy of this particular album. There's a lot of Endless Summer variations out there. But again, $20 for these 3. Little Deuce Coupe. If this was in really, really good condition, I would have sold it by itself, but lots of staining, discoloration, and ring wear on the album cover and creases. So just a lot of issues with the album cover. The album itself ain't too bad. And then here, the Beach Boys Good Vibrations. This is a German version, EMI disc. So these 3 for about 20 bucks. Someone that's a Beach Boys lover wants to display them, maybe just use them for everyday use. Should be good. So that first stack of albums that we went through, I'm expecting to get somewhere in the neighborhood of $400 to $450 for those. when they're all sold. If I could get $400 out of them, I'll be pleased. If I get a total of 400, and then, you know, maybe after selling them and paying the fees, if I come out to the good 300, 350 bucks, I think that's okay on that set. Okay, this stack. So on this stack, I'm looking at around $400 total. This particular album could have been a very, very good one, but the cover is just not great. This is an original first pressing, 1959 of the Impalas. I ran all the way home. It's hard to judge these for me, man. There's so many variations and so many you know, things that you got to take into consideration. But this cover is really deteriorating. It's got some creasing. It's turning loose a little bit. You see the flaking on the edges, so there's got a lot of issues. So I'm not trying to say that this one's going to bring top dollar. Hopefully maybe $20, $25 for someone that wants a copy and is not a serious collector. But this, if it's in very, very good condition, like very good plus and above, you're talking about $100 or more that this could possibly bring. So this can be a really good album on the Cub label. And then I threw these in here. I didn't even comp these because they're not. I'm going to have to lot these up with some other albums, but I thought this was cool. This is the Hollies. Of course, it includes Graham Nash. Everybody knows Graham Nash from like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And so I thought I'd just show you that. And then also here, the Journeyman. This includes John Phillips before the Mamas and the Papas. And I thought that was a really cool little album. Not a big value there. You know, those are like, you know, $3 to $5 albums probably. But this one, the McCoys, $8 to $10, I would think. This is on the Bang record label. That's where a lot of the Bob Dylan records were recorded on. And look at that, man. You talk about a bowl cut. Look at that. Golly. Anyway, pretty cool album. Then we have Paul Anka. There's two Paul Anka albums. This is the Big 15 and then Diana. And the two of these, maybe $15. If I get 10, that'd be good. This is probably the best one in the stack. I could have saved it for last, but I just left it in here like it was. So if you're familiar with Buddy Holly, of course, just an iconic musician, died way too young. But his music, man, just such good stuff. Now this album cover, you'll see it's got some issues. It's got some peeling here on the edge. Overall, there's not really any flaking on the edges here, and it's not got bad splits. A little, maybe like 1 inch split right there. But overall, there's not much flaking on it. It's in pretty good shape. Pretty good shape overall. Color's pretty good. I'm hoping to get, these are very, very rare. So the Chirping Crickets, this is the band he was in, start with. So I'm hoping this is a first press, maybe $75 to $100 on this one. I may try it on an auction and just start the bid out at like $75 and see what happens. But these sell really high sometimes, upwards of $200 or more, depending on the condition. If they're in really, really like excellent condition, they can go for a premium price. This is a record to watch out for. It's on the Brunswick label, BL 54038. So anyway, awesome album there. And love me some Buddy Holly. And here's the Buddy Holly story. This is only worth $10 to $15, but still, just, you know, gotta love it. I don't know if I showed you the back. That's the back of the Chirping Crickets album. Anyway, cool stuff. Then we have the Dave Clark 5. I've sold some CD sets of the Dave Clark 5 that brought really, really good money in the past. I was hoping the records would be worth more, but I think, you know, a lot of the collection, as far as people listening, has moved on to CDs for people that want to have hard media collections for this particular group. So these three, $15 to $20 for the greatest hits, Weekend in London, and the Dave Clark 5 Return. Now I'm sure there's some better albums for this group that have higher resale values, but that's about what I'm thinking on those. I'd be happy at 15 to 20. Then we got Paul Revere and the Raiders. This is a lot of 4. 2 of these have the booklet, which I thought was really cool. But I'm going to try to get $30 to $40. We have the Spirit of 67. Here They Come, Paul Revere and the Raiders. And like I said, 2 of these have the booklets. I'll just show you that real quick. I thought these are pretty cool. So here's one of them. You know, you oftentimes, you know, don't find these when you find the albums. Some really, you know, fun pictures here. All right, the others, we have the Greatest Hits, and we have Midnight Ride featuring Kicks. Then we have the Birds. So we have 2 Birds. This is Turn, Turn, Turn and Mr. Tambourine Man. Love both of those songs, man. The Birds are pretty awesome. $20 to $25 for this pair. They're not in the best of shape. A lot of ring wear on this one, a lot of discoloration on this one, and some ring wear as well. But overall, you know, not bad. The albums themselves are in pretty good shape. I believe they're going to be good and playable. 20 to 25 bucks for that pair. The Monkeys, got to love you some Monkeys, right? I sold the season 1 and 2, the TV series on DVD for like a couple $100 here a while back. It's worth a lot of money. If you ever run across that in the wild, mine were sealed. They're not worth as much when they're unsealed, but I'm just saying it's a good thing to watch out for. Some of the music DVD stuff can be really good sellers. This one's still in the shrink wrap, but it's not, you know, it's not the most desirable album, but 10 bucks maybe on that. I have a lot of 5 of the 4 seasons. If you know Frankie Valli, Sherry, Bye Bye Baby, just some great songs. Love Frankie Valli. We went to Branson several years back, and they had a tribute show to Frankie Valli in the 4 seasons that was really good. Again, you know, I don't know anything about music, right? So whatever. But anyway, 5 record lot for 40 bucks. Got the gold vault of hits, and then the second gold vault of hits, so that's like volume 1 and 2, the 4 Seasons Christmas album, and then Sherry and 11 Others by the 4 Seasons. And I had priced some of these individual. That's a decent album, the Sherry album is, but it's just, you know, these others aren't great by themselves. Dawn, Go Away, 11 other great songs. So I'm just putting all these together, going to try to get 40 bucks for the 5, and I think I can do that. I don't think that's too much. Then we have Bill Haley in the comments. Man, you got to love Bill Haley in the comments. Rock Around the Clock. I think 1958 or 59, and then 1960 on this one here. I'm going to lot these together and hopefully get 35 or 40 for those. Again, just really good shape for their age. And then we have a lot of 4 Rick Nelson, and this is some of his earliest albums. We have, you know, Ricky Nelson, For Your Sweet Love by Rick Nelson, and then the one that's just Ricky. I think this is the earliest one I have. And then we also have Rick Nelson Million Sellers album. So the 4 of those for about 30 to 35 bucks. Then we have Donovan. There were several lots that it sold, so I feel good about maybe being able to get 30 to 35 for these. I would take a $20 or $25 offer. If I'm being honest, a lot of this stuff, you know, if I can get $5 an album to get my money back on the ones that I'm just pushing through, and then hone in on the really good ones that have high values to make my money, that's, I think, the ticket for me here, because I need to move these fast. But anyway, like it is, I think this one is Open Road, if I remember right. Yeah, that one's called Open Road. Then we have Fairy Tale, and we have the Mellow Yellow album. So those 4 again for $35. All right, this last stack, I didn't bother with any comps. Most of these are $5 or less, but what I'm going to do is put together some lots of like 10. I may even sprinkle in some of the other music that I've already comped that's not got high value to boost it a little bit, and just sell them in lots to someone that might be interested in music from that era. So we have Bobby V. By the way, if you see something in this stack that I missed and I didn't catch that's got good value, let me know in the comments. But Bobby V, Golden Greats. This is Rock Is Here to Stay. It includes like Neil Sedaka, Chubby Checker, Sam Cooke, the Coasters, on and on, right? So different ones, Ray Charles. So here we have Dwayne Eddy. There's 2 of these, Dance with the Guitar Man and Twanging Up a Storm. We have Adam Faith, It's All Right, George Hamilton 4 on Campus. We have the Fireballs Campusology on Dot Records. We have the Rascals Greatest Hits, Timepiece. Pat Boone, 15 hits. Lollipops and Roses, Jack Jones. Harper's Bazaar, Feeling Groovy. Oldies But Goodies, Volume 2. We have Brian Hyland, The Joker Went Wild. Chad and Jeremy, they have their music on CD. I've sold some of it, and it sells pretty good. Make good money off of it. This is Yesterday's Gone. Paul and Paula, Sing for Young Lovers. Jerry Lee Lewis, some of his stuff can be good. This is the Golden Hits album, not as valuable, not worth listing individually. Herman's Hermits, love this group again. Mrs. Brown, You Got a Lovely Daughter. Herman's Hermits, man, good stuff. Anyway. The Righteous Brothers, everybody knows the Righteous Brothers again. Fantastic duo, and that's back to back. Common album, but still a good album. The Everly Brothers, same thing. Very well known. Peter and Gordon, another group, another pairing that on CD I've had really good luck making money on their music. The Astronauts down the line. Hey, there's another Chatting Jeremy. Yesterday's gone, so 2 copies of that. Babysitting with Buzz Clifford. We have Joni James, Among My Souvenirs. Jerry and the Pacemakers, Greatest Hits. Gary Lewis and the Playboys, This Diamond Ring. Gary Lewis and the Playboys also has sold well for me on CD. Another Bobby V, I think that's who we started with. Bobby Darin Story, Mac the Knife. Bobby Rydell, a lot of Bobbies, right? Bobby Rydell, Top Hits in 1963, some by Bobby Rydell. And then Ed Burns, Kooky, star of 77 Sunset Strip. Really, really cool album cover. And sometimes that right there is enough to sell them like in a booth or in a yard sale because they'll use them for decor. All right, so another thing that I've been thinking of doing with some of these albums, especially the ones that are say like $5 or less, is just maybe putting them in a booth. I've been exploring the possibility of opening a booth now in a flea mall, antique store type place, really for several months. I've talked a little bit on the podcast this last week. We had Troy Mountain Man Treasure on with us on Two Old Guys Reselling Podcast. By the way, if you haven't checked us out over there, go check out me and Caleb from the Old Pass. And he's also got his own channel. Check him out too. Check out Troy from Mountain Man Treasure. But we were talking about this because Troy's had a booth for a while now and has done really well by trying not to place items that maybe are too high end. It seems that he's found a niche there by focusing on, you know, the impulse buying type situation. So I really think records are a good part of that. I know, you know, if you're looking to decorate, you know, a part of your house and you're a music lover and you see something like that, you know, an album from the 50s that's got a really cool cover, it don't matter. It don't matter who it is that's on it. That's just something that's going to look neat. You can make a hanging out of it. You can put it in a bookcase at the back of the bookcase. Lots of options and ideas. But anyway, yeah, that being said, I'm looking at that. Maybe I'll move some of these into a booth and have that as part of my booth. Have a place there with the records on sale. And see how that goes. I really, really love music. I enjoy processing through music, although it is time consuming. But, you know, hey, the more I learn, the better I get at it. And records has been a big learning curve. Man, I'm having to learn so much. And, you know, I got called out a lot on my first video on this stuff. I mean, but I'm doing the best I can. So, you know, guys, I appreciate even the negative criticism that I can learn from because it helps me. Y'all gave me ideas of places to go or to get more information. You know, expanded my knowledge quite a bit. And I knew when I bought this collection that it was going to be a major learning curve. That's one of the reasons why, honestly, I still haven't even listed any of these because when I do list them, I want to get it right. I'm not looking, you know, I threw those comps out on that stuff before. I wasn't trying to like over exaggerate. I was really doing the best I could with the information I could find on eBay. Now, I know there's so much nuance in grading and pricing of these records, and I want to have happy customers. So I'm probably going to take some of the advice I got from some reselling friends and err on the side of marking it a grade lower than what it might make, unless it's going to make a ginormous difference in value. You know, if you're talking about a difference in 25 versus, you know, $20 or $18, I don't really care as much. But if you're talking about a record going from $100 to maybe $400, I may carry some of those to a record store and get a second opinion just to be sure that I'm doing it right and I'm not leaving too much money on the table. And I do have some that I haven't even got to yet to show y'all on camera that have potentially really, really high values. A few I have, you know, I showed you a couple in the last video, but there's more to come. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this little piece of the unboxing. Like I said, I got 3 more videos that I'm going to make on this as I have time. They may be scattered out all the way till Christmas. I can't guarantee when I'll get to it. And don't forget, let me know in the comments what you think about the ultrasonic cleaner, because, you know, I'm not real experienced with this part. I want to make sure that they're in great shape, that they're clean, that they're ready to go. And a lot of these are really clean already. They're not, you know, full of trash or a lot of fingerprints on them or nothing like that. So they've been well cared for. But still, if I need to look at that, let me know, because I want to do it right and I want to do it well. And you know, if I can get out for under $100 on a cleaner and I can make, you know, several $100s, if not a couple $1,000s profit on these or more, and I really think I'm going to be, you know, several $1,000s profit because I got several records that are a few $100s. I'm okay with spending a little money to make sure I do a better job that I can use on future projects as well. I've got some other things to show you too. I bought a 45 collection for $25 the other day, and several of them came from a radio station, so they're little promo copies of 45s. Most of them are from the 70s. I don't know much about that either. I'm having to learn, but I may just show those to y'all and let y'all hit me up in comments and tell me if I've got something that's great. If you see an Easter egg in there, you can let me know. So I may try to get that video out over the weekend sometime just to kind of break up some of this other stuff. And yeah, man, I just got so much going on. I got a big box of music media that I want to go through and show you guys that I got from a person that I've made friends with, that I've bought a huge music collection from in the past. And I'm about to go buy another music collection. I bought his dad's. Now he's ready to sell his music collection. And so, you know, man, I'm excited about some of the things I have on the horizon. Had a great sale today that I went to, a local church sale that I just killed it at. It's not music, you know, maybe one or two. I got a couple of Pink Floyd CDs, but man, just great haul of overall stuff just for reselling. So I'll show you that too. Looking forward to showing all this stuff. Hopefully within the next week and a half, I'm going to have 3 or 4 different videos out, and we'll see how it goes from there. But thank you guys for watching as always. Appreciate the support. Appreciate all that you've done. If you haven't hit that like button yet, go ahead and hit that like button for me. If you haven't subscribed and you've watched this far, why not go ahead and subscribe? I can't promise you, if you're just a music person, that every video is about music, but I can promise you, because I'm a music lover, I do buy music and media a lot, and you're going to see a good bit of stuff dealing with music sprinkled in over time. So just keep that in mind. You're more than welcome to skip all the videos that don't pertain to something you like, but you might want to hang in there because I've got some really cool stuff to show you music collection wise coming up over the next few months. So anyway, that's all for now, I guess. So I'm going to get off here, and like I said, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Always remember this, guys. I love you. Most importantly, God loves you, and whatever you do, reseller or not, whatever you are in life, whatever you're doing, guys, don't you ever give up. Keep looking up. Help's coming. See you guys.